XRP price prediction versus HBAR price prediction, both in the 10x duel. In this video, I'll show you which one leads in tokenomics, utility, and narrative. Which has the better market potential, based on real data, not hype. At the end, you'll get a clear conclusion on which altcoin is ultimately better, how much potential there is, and what's going on with the price. What if I told you that there's an altcoin with an 8 billion market cap that is technically more advanced than XRP, but hardly anyone actually talks about it? Welcome to 10x by Marius, your channel for honest, data-driven altcoin analysis. Let's get started. So, what exactly is XRP? XRP is a global payment standard, developed by Ripple for use by banks, for example. It's focused on fast, low-cost transactions. What is HBAR? It's the native currency of Hedera, a decentralized Layer 1 blockchain that's based on a different consensus protocol. Both altcoins have real-world use cases, but very different architectures, as well as partner and marketing strategies. XRP uses the XRP ledger fast, energy efficient, and ideal for cross-border payments. But Ripple still controls around 50% of the tokens. HBAR runs on its hashgraph technology. It offers higher transaction speed and greater scalability. Major partners like Google, IBM, and even Boeing are part of the governance council. XRP is already being used in the banking sector, for example with on-demand liquidity, such as in Asia and also South America. HBAR, on the other hand, is used for tamper-proof logistics data, as well as for the tokenization of O2 certificates, and is also used in identity management. So both altcoins are already in live use, but XRP has a broader application. However, HBAR has the more innovative technology. So grab yourself a coffee, quickly leave a like for me, and then let's go. But a quick disclaimer, my channel does not provide financial advice, it's purely for informational purposes. And with that, let's jump straight into the duel, XRP versus HBAR. What about the market cap? XRP is at around 140 billion, so that's an extremely high market cap. HBAR is comparatively lean at around 9 billion. That means HBAR definitely still has more room for growth. Next, the fully diluted market capitalization. XRP is at 240 billion, HBAR at around 10 billion. Here you can see XRP has of course grown more, but is also valued higher. HBAR appears undervalued here. Now, the circulating supply, XRP has 58% of its tokens already in circulation. HBAR has almost 85%. HBAR clearly has little dilution risk here. Because how was the token distribution? With XRP, Ripple holds 50%, and with HBAR, the Hedera Council manages the distribution here. By the way, if you want to buy altcoins like XRP or HBA, I recommend my favorite crypto exchange, where most altcoins have extremely low fees. Just take a look at the pinned comment. Then the tokenomics and inflation. Lockup periods. What's the situation? Ripple ultimately sells XRP tokens on a regular basis. HBAR has a lockup period with a set schedule. What about emissions? XRP is variable in that regard. HBAR is planned, but not publicly viewable, so they are not completely transparent. What about staking? Currently, staking is not available for either of them. Then they have a burn mechanism. For XRP, yes, fees are destroyed. HBAR does not have a burning mechanism. XRP has a deflationary mechanism here, which is a positive. But the regular sales by Ripple could, of course, always put downward pressure on the price. Let's move on to the tech and the use case. XRP uses a Layer 1 blockchain technology, the XRP ledger. HBAR also uses Layer 1 technology, but it is not a classic blockchain. Instead, it has a specific consensus mechanism. Then the real-world utility, XRP payments, on-demand liquidity, CBDCs, for example, HBAR. Applications for businesses, for example in supply chain management. Next, what is the developer activity like on both chains? Both are active and both have large developer communities. That's very good. Next, what about the use case score? XRP has the advantage here in terms of adoption, especially among banks and payment providers. HBAR scores points with enterprise providers and more modern technology. By the way, if you want to see deeper altcoin analyses or other matchups, check out the 10x Universe playlist. I've linked it in the video description. It's quite exciting. I've also analyzed a lot of other altcoins, and in the future, there will be many more matchups to come. Have fun with it. Next, what are the communities like for both? How are they positioned in that regard? What about adoption? Which one is actually developing faster? XRP has millions of followers worldwide. XRP has one of the largest communities, the XRP army. HBAR is significantly smaller here. They do have hundreds of thousands of followers, but it's much smaller than XRP. Growth on-chain over the last 3 months. XRP has remained stable here. HBAR has seen a positive increase, especially in terms of community engagement. Next, what about actively used wallets? XRP is very high in that regard. With HBAR, it's significantly lower. Next, the wallet concentration. It's extremely high with XRP. Above all, Ripple holds a large share of the tokens. With HBAR, it's already lower, but still dominated by the council. Now we come to the next point. The vision and the narrative. The roadmap. XRP is clearly focused on payments. They have already had a strong roadmap here and have executed it solidly. HBAR's focus is clearly on Web3 applications, but especially on Web3 solutions for enterprises. Next, what narratives are there? XRP, for example, is about CBDCs, RippleNet and banks. HBAR is more in the enterprise sector. ePIN, data integrity. What about investors? XRP, of course, has its Ripple Labs, but HBAR has Google and IBM on board. Next, media presence. XRP is, of course, unmatched constantly in the media. HBAR is coming up, but it's still under the radar. Now a question for you. Are you more Team XRP or Team HBAR? Let me know in the comments. And now let's get to the potential of both. XRP, pros, real-world use, one of the top 10 coins, strong brand, large community. Cons, Ripple holds quite a lot of tokens, which points to centralization. Let's move on to HBAR. Pros, modern architecture, currently undervalued but has strong real-world partnerships. Cons, limited adoption and the token distribution is centralized by the council. So how does the risk-reward look now? HBAR has a much higher asymmetric opportunity. However, XRP has better fundamentals. HBAR clearly has more upside potential due to its low market capitalization. Let's move on to price scenarios. A realistic price target for XRP in this bull run is $4 to $5. For HBAR, it would be $1.5. Of course, this requires significantly higher adoption. By the way, I've analyzed both HBAR and XRP with price forecasts. Both are extremely exciting. I'll link both of them here for you. If you enjoy these dual videos, then leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video with the two analyses. You can choose XRP or HBAR